Well, welcome once again to another edition of Give It a Shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith, and we are the co-founders of AboutBeverages.com, your interactive beverage community and source for the sharing of beverages, news, knowledge, and of course, the beverages themselves.
What are we trying today?
We are trying a Kenya AA coffee. Kenya is an African coffee, which it sort of had, at least around Arbuckle, around where we were working, it sort of had a legendary status of just a lot of great body, a lot of great flavor, and then due to certain conditions, that kind of fell from favor, correct?
Yeah, it actually had for quite some time. We actually haven't had Kenya around for quite a while just because the crops just were not as good, and if it's not good, we don't get something just because it has a name associated with it.
And now when you say we, you are talking about specifically
Arbuckle Coffee.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I didn't know if I just didn't want it to all of a sudden be we. Oh my, you can't find Kenya coffee anywhere?
Yeah.
No, you could find Kenya coffees at various locations, but usually because of the economic and the weather conditions, it just, the quality just didn't justify the price.
The quality wasn't there. Yeah, you can always find, you can go anywhere usually and still find a Kenya, but it may not be exactly what you want to drink. Coffee crops are very much like wine crops, like any other kind of natural product. They vary from year to year. You may like a Pinot Noir from 2007, but the 2008, you try that and it's more spicy, or it's more this or more that, and you may not like it. When you see Kenya when it's sold, you'll actually, a lot of times you'll see a couple little letters associated after the name. A lot of times you'll see Kenya AA, or you'll see different grades of it, and that simply is just about the size of the bean, which, as we know, it is not about the size. It is about
well, sometimes though that designation after a coffee, like after a country like Colombia, you have Supremo and Excelsos,
right?
And sometimes people would see that Supremo and think, "Ooh, this is going to be the best. It's supreme." But actually, all that is it's just a size rating. It's a
right.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with the flavor.
It has nothing to do with the flavor. You can find there's good and bad coffee in any country at any grade, actually. It's just, it's how hard you want to look to try to find it.
So we are actually going to be trying this Kenya, and it actually is a AA. We're going to be trying this today, and we're going to be doing it French press style.
And, gee, how do you do coffee French press style?
Well, we're not going to get into that fully today because we have done it in the past.
That's right. If you visit our website at AboutBeverages.com, you'll find instructions on how to make French press coffee.
And through the magic of podcasting, that process is now complete, and we can actually try the coffee. What kind of color are we looking at here? I know, surprisingly, brown.
It's blue.
It's a taupe. A little darker, darker because we did the French press. A little more oils kind of on the top.
Sort of cloudy brown, sort of hazy. It's not like you can see right through it. Because of the solids that are in there.
All right, let's give this coffee a little sniff here and see what we're getting off the aroma.
Okay. At various stages along the way, from dry grounds to wet grounds, I got some chocolate. There was some wood notes. There was some sweetness to it. And though it sounds weird that there's sometimes when coffee is ground immediately, it almost has like a meat smell, like a grilled meat.
Oh yeah, you get that even just when you're roasting too.
Yeah.
Like when we just finish a roast.
It's basically the caramelization of anything is going to create the sugars. It's going to create a different sort of aroma. So there's a similarity between grilled meat and a coffee that's been roasted. You're applying heat to it and you're causing a chemical reaction.
I'm getting still some of that sweet note you were talking about.
Yeah, that's coming through. All right,
got a taste now. Can't wait any longer.
Boy, that's just really nice and smooth.
It's just a really good smooth. It's a little oily. The body is there, which it hasn't been for a while. And that was one of the things we were most impressed with.
Right.
So there is a little bit of a light fruit and there's a little bit of sweet, but overall, once again, balance. There's a lot of nice balance there for this coffee.
It really is. It's not a full body, but it's got a nice medium body. It doesn't dry me out. I think because of the esteem with which we've held Kenya coffee for so long, it's always hard to live up to those prior memories.
Oh yeah, and we even talked about that when we got this in. As good as we think this is, and how much I'm enjoying this cup of coffee, it's never going to be what you've had in the past.
Right.
That's why that vintage or that crop or whatever. That's why that was the flavor you got out of that year. Enjoy it for that year because it's not going to be the same from the next year to the next year. But this is.
I mean, if you're lucky, it is. It can be. That's what farmers are striving for. That's what winemakers are striving. They're striving for that. But it's so hard because you're dealing with that unknown of Mother Nature and the weather patterns and all that stuff. And they're trying to do that, but it doesn't always happen. I mean, maybe this is the beginning of the return of. I mean, it might come back.
I hope so.
It certainly could.
And
this is definitely a huge step in the right direction. And where would people go to purchase this coffee? Because we know they're going to want to. It's just a damn good cup of coffee.
Yeah. They can actually go to arbucklecoffee.com, and we'll have a link to their website. So you're telling me you would probably like to give this a shot?
Oh, yeah, I'll be ordering some of this from you guys. Well, that's good. It's just nice to see the return of an old friend.
Yeah. But as we always say, whether we like it or not.
You should give it a shot.